Is it better to do faster or slower reps for muscular growth? When you perform faster reps, you can usually lift heavier weights. Slower agents, on the other hand, cause more prolonged eccentric contractions, resulting in more muscle loss. So, today, we'll look at what science has to say about which of these strategies is best for muscle gain and general body composition improvement. Welcome back to another exciting video. Today's video is about comparing slow and rapid reps for muscle growth based on science. Before we start the video, please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. To begin, we must analyze what is known as repetition pace. As the name says, this is the phrase academics use to explain how rapidly you do reps for a particular exercise. Most workouts, as previously indicated, include an eccentric and concentric phase. The eccentric phase of the movement is when the target muscle lengthens. Your bicep is in the eccentric phase when you lower the weight during a curl. The muscle lengthens while maintaining taut to keep the weight from falling free. The concentric phase is the time when the target muscle contracts. Your bicep is in the concentric phase when you lift the weight during a curl. To fight gravity, the muscle must contract with enough force. Most trainers recommend slowing down and then exploding on the way up to maximize muscular growth. Is this right, though? In a study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, participants performed 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps to failure, either with a traditional rep tempo of 1 to 2 seconds for each concentric and eccentric contraction, or with a slow 10-second concentric followed by a slow 4-second eccentric contraction. Both groups aspired to progress as soon as possible regarding how much weight they could lift and how much muscle they could grow, as measured by muscular biopsies, recognized as one of the most accurate procedures for this type of test. According to the findings, the traditional training group improved the cross-sectional area of their leg muscle fibers by 26% in type 1 slow twitch fibers and 34% in type 2 fibers at the end of the trial. Meanwhile, only 6% of the slow tempo group increased in type 1 and 15% in type 2. Based on those findings, we can conclude that faster reps were superior to very slow reps for muscle growth. In other studies, we look at TUT, which stands for time under tension and refers to how many seconds it takes from the start of your sets to the end, considering both the concentric and eccentric phases. So, do all of the studies available support only quicker reps? A meta-analysis of 8 studies found no statistically significant relationship between repetition speed and muscle growth. However, when the impact sizes for those trials are analyzed, they demonstrate a trend towards more substantial muscle growth for those who exercised at a faster rep tempo. There is a possibility that the study's duration needed to be increased to detect a statistically significant difference between the groups. As a result, as previous research has demonstrated, this meta-analysis concludes that faster tempos are better for muscle building. Furthermore, the meta-analysis's 8 studies had numerous shortcomings. One of them is that the trials were all carried out on untrained individuals. You could ask if physically incapable persons have the requisite exercise technique, coordination, and motivation to achieve maximum muscle activation when finishing a speedier workout. This is the principal way that a faster pace can encourage muscular growth. So, what about faster reps that make them superior for muscle growth? The first reason is that research has shown that slowing down your reps reduces the weight you can lift. Meanwhile, increasing the speed of your movement can help you get more reps with a given weight load. Anyone who has ever lifted weights knows that slowing down your representatives usually means lowering the weight or reducing the number of agents you're performing. This means slow reps allow you to apply less mechanical force to your muscle fibers than fast reps. This is negative for muscle growth and leads to lower strength gains, according to a meta-analysis published in the Journal of Sports Medicine. If your strength gains have stalled, you can lift less weight in subsequent sets than if you maintained a consistent rep tempo. This reduces muscle growth by limiting your ability to build mechanical tension overload. Another advantage of fast reps is that they activate more muscles than slow repetitions. If you do your reps explosively, your fast twitch fibers will be active throughout the set. Because quick twitch fibers are linked to observable muscle growth, more explosive agents can stimulate strong muscle growth. If you choose slow reps, your fast twitch fibers will be recruited only when your slow twitch fibers can no longer provide enough force to raise the resistance. Slower reps will consequently give your fast twitch fibers less muscle building stimulation. So, isn't it scientifically proven that slow, eccentric contractions promote muscle growth? According to the meta-analysis we just covered, some studies demonstrate that slow eccentrics create more muscle growth than faster eccentrics, so many people feel that slowly dropping weight leads to more muscle growth. The issue is that much of the data that suggests slower contractions on the way down separates the eccentric part of a contraction from the opposing concentric contraction. Furthermore, almost every study that claims slow eccentrics are superior includes some form of eccentric overloading. Slower eccentric contractions, on the other hand, will not necessarily help you build more muscle because most of us do not have access to this equipment and instead rely on barbells, dumbbells, cables, and machines that all maintain a steady level of tension regardless of whether the weight load is increased or decreased. Slower reps can help you overload the eccentric contraction and benefit in various ways. Bench press negatives are a simple illustration. With a partner spotting you, you'd use a heavyweight here and carefully lower it towards your chest. When you reach your chest, your partner should emphasize you as you press it up. Because you're reducing the entire weight to your wardrobe but only pulling a fraction back up because your partner is aiding you, this generates eccentric overload. Going slower on the way down can pay off in this situation. Another tactic for taking advantage of slower reps is the 2-to-1 approach. Using this method, you will complete the raising phase of a workout with 2 limbs while progressively lowering with only 1 limb. This will result in a substantial eccentric overload once more. Leg extensions are an excellent example of this. Lifting the weight requires 2 legs, whereas lowering it requires only 1. You can employ multiple machines to do the same job as long as the right and left sides are coupled to a single weight load. Cheating during the concentric contraction is another approach to induce eccentric overload to take advantage of slow reps. Assume you're working on your shoulders with an overhead press. Start the exercise by pushing the weight up with your legs, known as a push press. With the same weight load, alternate between a dumbbell press on the way up and a fly on the way down for your chest. Remember, if you're a beginner, I don't recommend focusing on eccentric overload because most beginners require greater motor control to use this strategy effectively. Furthermore, if you're a beginner, you won't need these strategies because regular exercise is enough. If you're advanced, slower reps may help you improve muscle growth by overdoing the eccentric phase. Having stated that even experienced users should exercise caution. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.